Hey everyone, today I'm going to be discussing and giving out my winter training schedule. I highly recommend that you watch the full video to maximize your winter training. But if you can't or don't want to, all the tips and schedules will be in the description with timestamps. Anyways, let's get into today's video. Alright, so some winter tips. So the first tip is if you live in a north or snowy state, I wouldn't take a break just yet. I would wait till it gets really bad weather. Because it always happens. 1 week, it always happens. So take that week off and just keep training till then. If you live in the southern states or a place where it doesn't snow, I would take your break right now. It wouldn't hurt, and it's just more time for you to get training without having to take a break in the middle of January. So regardless where you live, north or south, snowy, not snowy, I would recommend you to run outside. Now, unless the weather is too bad, too much ice, too much snow, or there's a thunderstorm in the south, I would recommend you just to run outside. The reason why is because you get more if you run outside. You know, you got wind, a hard impact on the ground. If you run inside all the time on the treadmill, your legs are going to get weak, especially your knees, and you're not going to get the full advantage of running. My freshman year, I ran on the treadmill throughout the whole winter, and it didn't go well during track season. So I would highly recommend you run outside. Just make sure you take safety first. So if you could dual sport, I would say dual sport with swimming. It definitely helps you a lot. My sophomore year, I was injured with an IT band injury. I couldn't run at all. I did swimming, and swimming reduced my mile time from 4:51 all the way down to 4:41. Now, swimming is definitely very beneficial. It helps with your aerobics and is very low impact. Unfortunately, for some people, it won't work out because you have practice right after school, so you can't run. And by the time the practice is over, it's too cold for you to run outside. Now for me, I was able to run during practice. I ran during the first hour because my coach let me. I have to say though, it is very selfish of me to do that. My swim teammates needed me, and they need me to get better to help them out. I was a decent swimmer, and having me reduce half of my training throughout the whole season definitely made me reach my potential. However, I knew my running goals, and I was the captain of my running teams, and I needed to be there for those teammates. I was also very selfish by running during meets, especially during dual and tri meets. I still race at the meets, I just ran before, and that was very selfish of me. So you just gotta be able to know your priorities. Alright, now here's a big one. If you get any sort of pain, any little type of small injury, do not force yourself to keep running. It's better just to take time off and heal, or to reduce your mileage so you can heal. This is huge. If you get a major injury, it's going to screw up your track season. You don't want to do that. Just make sure you have time. You have time to recover and heal from it. Hopefully it does not happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen at all. But if you do get any sort of pain, just take time off and let it heal. You don't want to make it worse. I remember my junior year, I had a little foot pain, and it was really annoying because I wanted to keep training, but it was there and it kept hurting every single time I ran. I had to take some time off, and it sucked, but in the end it worked out. So there's indoor track. With this year, I don't know if there's going to be indoor track because of COVID, unfortunately. However, if you do indoor track, I would highly recommend that you don't do every single week of a meet. I would definitely do maybe every other week, or maybe every 3 weeks, or maybe even a month. One race a month. I didn't race that many indoor meets because I focused on my training for outdoor season. I only did the big invites for indoor track and states. So I would definitely just focus on training. But if you want to do indoor track meets a little bit more than I did, that's completely fine. But again, where are your goals? You just gotta prioritize what you want. Now the last tip I have is just depression. With the lack of sunlight in the winter and just not getting your vitamin D, depression happens. It sucks. If you're going through that, just make sure you talk to your loved ones or people you trust. I know a lot of times we joke about this kind of stuff, but in the end, when you actually do have it, it just turns your life way upside down. And again, just make sure you talk to people and you just trust in yourself. That's the main thing. Don't let it overtake you. and always go for your goals. That would always help. Alright everyone, so I'm going to be explaining a little bit about the training. So by now you've probably seen the schedules. So base pace is basically a minute 30 to 2 minutes slower than your 5K pace. So my 5K pace is about 5 minutes. That's about a 15:32. That means my base pace is 6:30 to 7. So that's a medium pace. My tempo pace is 30 seconds slower. So if my 5K pace is 5 minutes, then it would be 5:30 pace. So my long runs would be easy to hard. Just depends on how you feel. Sometimes I like to take my long runs hard. And hard can be 6 minutes. Or it can be really easy, like 7:30. It just depends what you feel. Now body weights are kind of like push-ups, I guess. It's where you use your weight to build muscle. I know many of us don't have like weights in our own places, and with COVID it's hard to go to the gyms. I would recommend doing push-ups and all those other types of body weights. I'm going to be redoing a core and body weight video of my sessions to show you what I usually do. So if you want to do those, that's fine. There's also a lot of other YouTube videos and websites where you can find running, body weights, and core workouts. If you're doing the winter training, I would really appreciate if you do this. Go down to the comments, comment your PRs for 800, 1600, 32, whatever distance you run. Put it down in the comments. After track season, I want you to come back and comment your PRs. I want to see how much everyone progressed or actually got slower. I just want to see. If you can do that, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys again for watching.